Crank the hog, hog wild.
We going hog wild
So
on
many
this
hog
episode.
phrases.
Going
Ball
whole hog.
Whole hog, yeah.
Whole hog, not half hog.
Not half hog. I never go half hog. Whenever I'm getting the hog,
Yeah.
I'm whole in there. Whenever I'm in the hog hole.
Wow, 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 wow.
Wah.
Maybe a little. Maybe juice it a little bit.
Yeah. Squeeze it. Juice it. Bop it.
Whatever happened to Bop It?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess people
Bop
don't really
It's
like
dead.
people don't like following orders anymore.
No, they don't.
Whatever
Well,
happened to that?
I was never like a Simon Says. I would do whatever Simon didn't say.
Oh, nice.
Just out of sheer
And then lose
protest,
immediately.
rebellion.
Yeah.
Then I make a whole big deal. I'd be like, yeah, well, I might have lost this game, but I've won my freedom.
Yeah. At least my mind hasn't been colonized.
Simon, the Englishman.
Exactly. Simon,
mean,
it was Simon
A British
Cowell
stand-in,
the whole
yeah.
time. Yeah.
We're just two buddies discussing fantasy. Oh God, it's Sorta Sorcery.
I don't know much.
I don't know much.
What I
about
do
it.
know is it's time for another episode of Sorta
Oh.
Sorcery.
How much of that is staying?
Not a lot. Not a lot.
Yeah.
It's home of the twin barbarians, Will and Chase.
Shwing. That's us.
That's us, baby.
Okay. Because obviously we look
Right.
exactly identical.
Right.
If we were to be wearing like headbands to
okay,
denote us
okay.
being different guys, what color would you go for?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because, see, my initial impulse is to go red because
Yeah.
I'm wearing some red
Red's good. Red's
right
good.
now. But then I feel like that codes me as Gore, the dumb one.
It's true. Yeah. Or like Raphael, like the
Yeah.
aggressive dumb one.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm only one of those things.
Just belligerent. Not necessarily dumb. Just angry and
Just
conniving.
very upset. My intelligence is what makes me so angry at the world.
You're aware of all of its shortcomings.
Society's flaws. And let me tell you about a society with some flaws.
Yeah. This one.
That's this society.
Yeah.
So, we open this movie, 1987, right? And this is a movie that does synths right, okay?
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
Everything's awesome. The music is awesome.
Well, they had all of the 80s to perfect the synth.
They
you know?
did.
They're like
They did.
right at the tail end. And now
And they know what to do with it.
Yeah.
They know how to use it.
they can do things that the Gawain movie never could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of like if Sword of the Valiant, if that soundtrack was even better.
Yeah. Even more egregious.
Yeah, it's just very like power ballad.
Uh-huh.
There's like impact font for all of the names and the
Yeah.
title. It's awesome. They're just playing around. They're having fun. They're using silly transitions.
It's silly and fun.
It's much better than a movie we just watched.
Sure. Oh my God. Yeah.
One of the worst movies we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Go listen to episode 11
11.
if you haven't already.
11.
That was a good one. A good one in a bad way.
Yeah.
But this movie from abroad, if you will, Italy.
Well, it's from a guy actually.
It's from a guy. Yeah, that's true.
Whatever.
That's good.
Whatever,
That's good.
whatever.
He's right. God damn it, he's right.
God damn it, he's right.
But all the names are Italian, and they're so deeply, deeply Italian.
Oh God. Yeah.
It's really, really funny.
Yeah.
I mean, you have people who are working on this movie, like Pino Donaggio, Eugenio Alabiso. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The names, they don't feel real. They don't feel real at all.
They all sound like expensive wine brands.
Yeah, they do. They do. And there's someone's last name was Rizzo, which is funny.
Yeah. Rizzo's fun.
note. Someone who's probably very important to the
Giovanni
production.
Scianfrigila.
So, when you read these names in the credits in the opening crawl, you're not even upset. You're in a good mood,
In a good
actually.
mood.
And I think generally the vibe of this movie, really good. It has a good, strong opening. It's an age of savage splendor. Man, woman, and child. They're all ruled by the sword.
Yeah.
You know how it was.
As they should be. As they should
An
be.
age of myth, whatever. You know the deal by now. Every opening crawl is exactly the same. But we open on the Ragniks.
Yeah.
Just a ragtag group of people.
That's good.
They don't really fight much. Their ancestors traded a mountain of gold for a magic stone,
Uh-huh.
a ruby.
You assume they don't fight much. Then what happens?
Yeah, you assume they don't fight much because they're dressed like carnies,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, like they look like this band, like circus. Like they're fun.
Yeah, they're fun
like-
guys. They have
yeah.
these like carriages they travel in, like Oregon Trail style.
Yeah. You think they just they're these peaceful people who just spread joy and happiness
Yeah.
to whatever village
Hey, well,
they visit.
they have the secrets of music.
Yeah.
They're storytellers and musicians. They are, if you've read Wheel of Time, this will be potentially the only Wheel of Time reference of this episode. They're like
Hopefully.
the traveling
Let's hope
people,
so.
the Thuathon.
Thuathon.
You know them, you love them.
Yeah.
They're kind of fun and silly and motley crew. And they're riding along, and they get rolled up on. Unfortunately, this is a lawless land where everyone is still ruled by the sword, least we forget.
Sure. Sure.
There's some evil guys, and the costuming of the bad guys in this movie, awesome.
Yeah. Fun.
They're like Mad Max, like leather road spikes. Mad Max on horses.
It's like this movie looks good. Like
It does.
there are some like really nice like sunset or sunrise shots before. Just everything
Yeah.
like looks like nice and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the Italian naturalistic
Yeah.
countryside, just beautiful.
Looks
Beautiful
good.
setting.
Looks good.
And the new outfit that Cromwell is rocking in this movie is
Yeah,
good.
he's back.
Yeah, the
He's
actor,
back.
the drugged out actor who played Cromwell is back, and he's just as manic as he was in the last movie we saw
Yeah.
him in.
Richard Lynch is the actor's name.
Richard Lynch.
Who, as you know, talked about in episode 10, developed a drug addiction for
Yeah.
Sword and the Sorcerer. So
Developed the drug addiction for the movie.
that's true.
Yeah,
That's what
he
happened.
did, but it's not like anyone asked him
No,
to do it.
no one asked
He
him to
was
do
like,
it.
yeah, I think this would make the character better.
I'm going to add some intensity to my role.
And it was intense.
It was intense, but to what effect?
I
don't
know.
know.
He
Yeah.
gives an intense performance in this movie as well. It's fun that we have like recurring characters now
Yeah.
that we
right.
can see. Miles O'Keefe, you know.
Yeah.
And so this movie, it's good. Mad Max guys are rolling up on the Thuathon, the traveling people. They want the stone, okay? They want the fucking stone.
They want
because
music.
it has the power to do something. It's a
Yeah.
magic MacGuffin,
Yeah.
as well as holding the secrets of music.
Uh-huh.
Maybe music is a power of its own. Maybe it's the power of
That's
love and
beautiful.
friendship. I don't
Yeah,
know.
That's beautiful.
What can I say? It's just something I'm reading into the plot. Not there. Never comes up in the plot.
No, why would it?
But there's some really good stunts in the scene. It is like a Mad Max-esque, you know, ride 'em down
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
The carriage people, turns out they're all armed to the teeth. They have like all kinds of traditional and like carnival weaponry.
Uh-huh.
They have like weird magic grenade balls that they throw. They have bowling pins they're chucking, throwing
Right.
knives.
So the guy's like throwing the bowling pins. Then they just cut to another guy with like a huge crossbow. On
Yeah,
the back
yeah.
of the
They have like
carriage.
this piece of artillery in the back of one of the carriages.
Yeah.
just like a massive like I guess there's a name for that kind of thing. It's a
Uh-huh.
large crossbow, but some history medieval nerd is going to be
Yeah.
ballista.
A ballista.
It's a ballista.
Yeah. I knew that from Terraria.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, what can I say? We're cultured men.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
We know everything about weapons and fantasy. and this scene's fun. There are actually some really good stunts here. We've been scarred, okay, about stunts
true.
being too good, too real.
Yeah.
Thanks to Sword and the
We
Sorcerer.
were on edge for the whole scene because people are like falling off of the horses, falling off the carriages, going at full
Yeah.
speed.
Yeah.
One guy at one point, a guy like lands on his back,
Yeah, it looks
Like,
like, he
on,
just
like, his
takes a
shoulders.
horrible
Yeah.
fall off the horse.
and I guess no one died.
In one scene, they like
Yeah.
trip some horses. And
Yeah.
they like actually fall to the ground.
And
And
they
you watch
fall
the whole scene.
right next to the people who are
Yeah,
on
who are
the
also
horses.
falling off the horses.
It's astounding. And
I'm
I guess
glad
no
no
one
one got
died
hurt.
because I mean I'm not
Yeah.
seeing anything
Yeah,
about
we
that.
would say that now if it happened.
we would have a trigger warning.
Yeah, a trivia warning.
That's good.
And it's good though. The stunts actually do look pretty good. The makeup, the costume is good. This scene really like makes you feel like this movie's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It's cool. They're riding them down. So, you know, the Ragniks are just killing people left and
No,
right.
of course. Yeah.
They're
good.
winning
They're
this battle
effective.
easily. And they're trying to get to the border of something. I don't know. They're going to an arbitrary location where they
Yeah.
think they'll be safe.
Yeah.
Of course, that's not going to happen.
No.
They roll up on this location that's like hemmed in by some cliffs, and they're stuck, basically. Uh-oh, they're stuck. And they get rolled up on by new Cromwell. Name's Kadar in
Yeah.
this movie. Kadar's a bad guy. He's got
How
a cool
did
haircut.
Kadar get from like
Yeah, because he was
where
behind.
he was
Uh-huh.
to where he
I think he must have ridden ahead or something, taken
yeah
a shortcut.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like while they're distracted by fighting, he just kind of like
Yeah, he
blitzed
has
ahead.
like twice as many goons as you thought he had.
Yeah.
And they do surround the Ragniks. And the Ragniks, the jig is up for them.
And all the goons are like deformed in some way.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Some of the goons just are really messed up. They have
Yeah.
like hideous makeup, you know. And Kadar himself has makeup that makes him look like he is strung out. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's I don't know if it's real or fake. The line is blurred
Uh-huh.
with this guy.
He also has like cute little braids.
He does. He's cute little braids and like a mullet.
Yeah.
Amazing haircut.
It's
Best
good.
haircut we've seen since Greba.
Uh-huh.
And that says a lot,
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, it's cool until, you know, Kadar, he's messing around with them, right? He
Yeah.
wants the fucking stone. he comes up to the caravans and whatever. They grab Canary, who's the queen of the Ragniks.
Yeah.
Somehow connected to the power of the stone. It's not clarified at any point.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, not really.
Yeah, because he wants the stone, but he's not going to get it. Because earlier during the chase scene, this guy named Grayshaft, he's given the stone and he's told to hop off.
Yeah, and he's not given specific directions on where to go.
No.
Which will make certain things that happen later in the movie very confusing.
Yeah, but presumably Grayshaft has gone to hide the stone, and it's not with the Ragniks anymore.
Yeah.
So Kadar's going to have a hard time with that realization.
Sure.
He starts laughing just maniacally. Like before he said any dialogue, really, he's just kind of laughing around.
In a way that only a man strung out on drugs
who's currently acting way too hard.
Yeah.
He's like pretending to like stab at the Ragniks.
Yeah.
And then he just actually does kill a couple people for no reason. I guess we're supposed to think he's like a Joker-esque villain. He's crazy, man. He'll do anything.
I guess. I just got that Richard Lynch was crazy.
Yeah, I think Richard Lynch is a Joker-esque human.
It's true. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, Heath Ledger, there's some comparisons there.
Hey, there you go.
Too much method acting, not always a good thing.
Yeah.
But he kills some random people for no reason, and Canary's like, wait, stop, please don't do that. And, you know, the goons are roughing her up. They're like riding her down with their horses. They're just being generally goonish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of course.
that's the only way.
Of course.
The only way to think about it or speak about it even. And two kids, you know, they see this going down. They're not going to stand for it.
Yeah.
So they jump out and just fucking bite off two of his fingers. One of the kids, I don't know how his hand gets in the kid's mouth, but somehow the kid gets his chompers around Kadar's hand and bites off two of his fingers.
Well, the kids have the hearts of warriors, of course.
They do. They have the hearts of barbarians, really.
Well,
that was a barbarous move.
It was barbarous.
I wouldn't bite off a guy's hand like that.
I would.
Yeah, maybe actually, I don't know.
If it really came down to it.
Yeah, I think if the adrenaline was really pumping, I would probably go for it. Because it's a good
my,
move.
Like, cool surrogate mom.
Yeah, I wouldn't stand for it.
I wouldn't stand for it.
I'd bite for it, though.
Yeah.
And two fingers down, Kadar is pissed now. He doesn't have the ruby. He doesn't have two of his fingers.
Sure.
He
doesn't have a lot.
Yeah. This mission has really like turned out bad for him. Half his goons are dead. They've been killed by these carnival workers. And
they must have pitched this mission as like so simple. Okay,
yeah, right. We're just gonna write them down.
And we're gonna take their jewel. We're gonna take their magic jewel, and it's gonna be set. You know, and then
no.
I mean, of course, when he gets back, we'll say what he does later. But like, he has to save face.
Yeah, he has to save face. So apparently, Kadar is, you know, he's leading a band of barbarians, right?
Yeah.
And there's a place, Barbarian Town. Yeah. It has a real name. It has, it's like Talchet. They mention it once.
Yeah.
Near the end of the movie. But this is also like a slave city.
Right.
So they bring back the Ragniks as like slaves. Some of the Ragniks. Some of them, I guess they just don't care about.
They just got out, I guess.
Yeah, they make it out alive. But yeah, a good portion of the Ragniks, including the two kids, are taken in as slaves into Barbarian Town. And he has in his Barbarian throne room what I can only describe as a platform throne. And it's like held up by slaves for no reason.
It's very similar to in Die Nibelungen, like the trolls holding up
exactly
the like thing of gold. Just very unnecessary. Like,
you don't really
they're
need
holding
it
anyway.
You don't really need it.
But this becomes much more real. Instead of like troll guys, it's just a bunch of black dudes.
I'm not. This part I'm not sure about. Like why? I guess
it's
they
the
want
only
us to
black
think he's
men
like
in the movie.
Evil. No, yeah, that is the only.
Yeah. But not the only black
non-
people in the movie.
Oh, that's so true. He has, and then you've probably seen this on the bingo. And
it's on the bingo.
What are they going on about?
What's wrong with these guys?
Minority second in command.
Yeah.
What's wrong with them?
It happens at least 3 times.
Okay, guys, come on. And this is one of the big ones. There's a sorceress, second in command. Her name is China.
Yeah, but
she's not Asian.
Yeah, she's black. And she looks like she has the haircut of like in Everything Everywhere All at Once, like the bad guy,
donut.
like the bagel, everything bagel haircut.
It's exactly that.
It's literally exactly that, and like even down to like everything about the haircut is the same. It's crazy. It's actually crazy.
But I mean, that's one thing I'll say. And the characters look cool in this movie.
Yeah.
Do they always do cool things? No. But they look cool. And another character who looks really cool because he has like a horn. Not on his head. He has like a headband with a horn on it.
And I'm sure he has a cool name.
Yeah, he's got a cool name like the Slayer. The
something.
cool guy. No, it's
Yeah.
Dirt Master.
Dirt Master.
Dirt Master.
Yeah.
And Dirt Master is like the slave master, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose.
So are they dirt? Are the slaves dirt?
Oh, that's kind of
Is
mean.
that?
Right? That's I don't
Yeah,
know.
that is a little mean.
I don't know about
That's
that.
a little
I
mean.
don't know about that Dirt Master.
Dirt Master doesn't seem like that bad of a guy. He just seems a little deranged.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
But the kids, so the kids are brought up, and they're shown to China, and she's like, "Oh, well, these are some dangerous kids. I mean, they bit off your fingers."
Yeah.
So she dissolves Kadar's fingers with her magic powers. She's like, "Oh,
Right.
if people get their hands on these fingers,
They can use it for foul sorcery.
yeah, they'll
against
mess you up."
Yeah.
So she decides to do a foul sorcery on the kids with the fingers. Much better deal.
Which is confusing. Like, what does she do?
She blasts them with like cobwebs,
Yeah.
like tries to cocoon them. I don't know. She does some weird
I guess that was just to show that she has
that
magic.
she does magic. Yeah.
But like the magic doesn't do anything.
This is also the one time she does magic in the whole movie, I feel like.
oh
I don't
wow.
know if she ever does magic again.
Oh wow, yeah. No.
And it doesn't make any sense when she does it. But
But she's consistently called
Yeah.
a sorcerer. I guess that's what throws me
yeah,
off.
she's called, she's referred to as the sorceress many
Yeah.
times. She does sorcery. That's whatever. But, she wants to kill the kids. And Kadar's not going to stand for it.
No.
He made a deal, God
Yeah.
damn it. He made a deal. Canary agreed to like subjugate herself to this guy in
look,
exchange for
my
these two
new
kids'
hot
lives.
wife is gonna leave if you kill these kids.
Yeah, if you kill these fucking kids. I'm a man of my word.
And when they make the deal, he has a very funny line. She's like, "No, please save the boys." He goes, "What are they, magic?"
Yeah.
As
He
if, like,
does
it's
say, what are they magic?
the only reason why he can imagine.
Well, this
saving
guy's
the
got
lives
magic
of
on the brain.
kids.
He
Yeah.
wants the magic stone. He
But
wants
it
the
feels like
magic
He
kids.
doesn't need the magic. I feel like he's running a
No.
pretty good operation.
Well, at first I thought it's because other people think the ruby is valuable. He's going to sell it for the mountain of gold or
Yeah.
something. But then it really doesn't seem like that's his plan at all.
And it doesn't even seem like there are other like powers in the world. It seems like it's just him.
This is mostly, I mean, he's ruling a large area,
Yeah.
presumably.
Yeah.
I don't know why he needs it, but he wants it. He's a
wants it.
greedy guy.
Yeah.
And, he can't kill the kids by his hand.
No.
But they concoct a very good plan, classic Shakespearean-esque plan.
Yeah, that's a word for it.
They're
In a lot of Shakespeare plays, they revolve around a guy just becoming really buff
yeah.
and sweaty and stuff.
Well, because they put the kids in the loving care of Dirt Master, and they're raised as slaves
Dirt
in
Master's
terms of like
daycare.
them working.
Yeah.
They're forced to work, but they're presumably like fed enough that they become just absolute fucking beefcakes.
Yeah, they're huge.
And they
They get human growth hormone in their meals every day.
because the kids are like scrawny, malnourished. The child actors.
Yeah,
Of course, we're gonna get to the part where they're no longer like that very
course,
soon.
Of course.
But each of the kids is tormented specifically by a guy in a helmet. One of them is tormented by a guy in a black helmet, one by another guy in a bronze helmet.
Yeah.
So they can't see who's behind the helmet, but they know they hate this guy in the helmet.
Uh-huh.
So, if you can't tell by now what the plan is going to be,
Sure.
they're going to have to fight each other
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
And that's how Kadar is going to get rid of these fucking kids.
And it almost works.
And it almost does work
And it
because,
almost
we have a
works.
time skip zoop, up to the future. And we open on the pit, and they're doing like slave work, whatever. They're getting wailed on by the guys in the helmets.
Of course.
And, Kadar is now fallen in love with Canary. Good for them.
Good for them.
I guess.
I'm sure they're both happy about this arrangement.
The Canary is being kept in a cage.
Well,
very
sure. Yeah,
metaphorically
yeah,
literal.
fitting to the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. The sorceress is like, giving Kadar some hate about his new relationship with Canary. Loki spitting facts.
Well, sure.
Standing up to him. It's good to see a female character voice her opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
She probably
I'm
will
sure
be
things
okay
work out for
in
her
this movie.
Yeah.
But Canary won't give up the ruby and will not give herself up to Kadar.
Mm-mm.
Kadar, pissed. It's time to enact the plan. He's ready. It's time to make the Barbarian boys fight.
Yeah.
And when we see them, they're fucking huge.
Yeah, they're giants.
They're the largest men you've ever seen in
You
your
should
life.
Google what these
If you
boys
didn't watch
look
the
like.
movie,
Yeah.
please look up. I don't know how these guys got so big.
Yeah.
They're big.
No, it is interesting because it has to be steroids, right?
Yeah, it's 100%
Because I mean, they're
steroids.
bigger than Arnold Schwarzenegger, which
Yeah.
I don't know why that's my touchstone for like,
Uh-huh.
a big guy, but they are much bigger than him.
Or at least, they really appear to be so.
Well, yeah, they're shorter.
Yeah, they
So
could be
maybe
short,
that
is our
just-
theory.
Yeah, it's just spread out or less spread out. It's condensed.
But they can't act very well.
Well, you know.
But you can't expect too much.
Yeah, you can't spec
You can't expect too
into
much.
every category. You know,
Yeah.
certain things, when you're min-maxing, certain things have to go.
Yeah. So the plan is enacted. Each of the boys is forced to wear the helmet of the other one's tormentor.
Sure.
And then they're put in the cage together. And it's time to fight.
And they don't look like the tormentors.
No.
Because the tormentors are like they're buff, but they're not like
Yeah,
pretty
but they're
normal
not,
guys.
They're not shredded.
Yeah, they're not huge, crazy, giant people.
Yeah.
But neither of them catch on to that immediately.
No, they're going ham on each other.
Yeah.
You know, they're tearing it up. And by, they knock pieces off the helmet.
Yeah, like
and
chopping
tell,
off horns and
wow,
stuff.
well, you look like me. They have a whole bit about, would you steal my face?
Yeah. Oh, you know, you tell me what you're doing with my face.
Yeah, I think that is exactly the line.
Yeah. But it's like, did they not think, like, did the bad guys not think to, like, reinforce the helmets? Like, make sure the helmets stay
But
on?
see, here's the thing. It's just the brute strength of the Barbarian
true. There's nothing they
twins.
could have done. Yeah.
There's nothing they could have done. So they realize immediately that they're brothers. And Canaries, who's forced to watch the fight, like, yells out something
Yeah.
about how they're brothers. And, we got to go save Canary.
Yeah, immediately they switch.
I mean, yeah, they're just so quick to hop into action. And they just start destroying the cage they're in. They start tearing it down with their bare
really fun to
hands.
watch. Because, like, they're just so big that any movement they do is funny. So when they're like lumbering across, like knock down stuff and like
it's just
steal
really
a horse,
funny.
it's really
well,
funny
they are.
to watch.
They're the kind of built where like you can't like move your arms very much
No, you can't.
because your arm is just like there's so much muscle around.
That's also what we look like, by the way.
That is what we look like. Yeah, we made a joke about it earlier, but that's us.
We can barely. Yeah, that's us in this movie. We can barely hold the mics from how like
we're
big
just
our
so
arms
big.
are. Yeah.
So large and imposing. So they're going to escape, I guess. They're going to leave to come back,
Which is weird.
which is whatever,
'Cause,
I
like,
guess.
Canary, who they're trying to save, is right there.
Yeah.
But then like, oh, we gotta save her, and then they just book it in the opposite direction.
They steal horses and they run away.
Strange.
So they run away.
Yeah.
And they find like the remnants of the Ragnick caravan. And they find another character, Ismene.
It's Rune.
It's Rune, and she's trapped.
It's Rune from Ator.
And then whatever, they don't want to free her at first because they think that she's like a roguish figure.
And she is.
She is, yeah.
Yeah, they're right about that.
Yeah, and presumably the Ragnicks have locked her up. And the Ragnicks are about to do something to our boys too because they hop out.
Uh-oh.
Turns out the Ragnicks are like a militant guerrilla group.
They've gone crazy. They're all like, they've gone like malnourished.
Yeah.
And like, I guess maybe just the one guy. Their leader looks like
Ibar,
an insane
who's
person.
who was, I guess, second in command to Canary, is now leading the Ragnicks.
Yeah, and he really shouldn't be from the looks of him.
He looks terrible.
Yeah.
But they jump the boys and immediately without recourse or cause, they're gonna hang them.
Yeah.
They're gonna hang them because the Ragnicks are evil now, and they just want to hang everybody.
But I guess they were also like crazy and murderous before.
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
But still, like,
but they had the stone, which I guess
Exactly.
placated them because of the music.
yeah.
That's my favorite alt theory is that the Ragnicks are just like really violent, and like having the stone like pacifies them.
Yeah.
But turns out there's gonna be a little problem with hanging these buff boys.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, the first boy, they toss him off the platform, right?
And by the way, we're just gonna say the first one or something because they're entirely.
Kuchek and Gore are their names. One is
Yeah.
smart, one is dumb. You will never at any point in the movie be able to distinguish which is which.
Well, because they had the correct opinion. They had the correct decision of giving them like headbands and like bandanas and stuff.
Yeah,
But they failed to make them
yeah.
like different enough colors.
they really
where you
abandoned
just
the
immediately
marking,
see it. Yeah.
aspect.
Yeah, they failed in like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles department of character
You
differentiation.
got to make them recognizably different.
Yeah.
And they just don't do that.
They don't do that.
But it's funny because Gore, they try to hang Gore, but his neck's like literally so strong he breaks the noose.
Yeah.
He like flexes his neck
Yeah, he's too
and breaks
big.
the noose.
And then he does a really
Yeah.
funny yell. When he's
He
on
has
the
this whole
ground.
bit where he like brays like an animal.
Yeah.
It's really funny, but
Yeah.
he does because
Yeah.
he's the dumb one.
He's a dumb one.
'Cause he's the dumb one. He makes animal noises, and that's
Isn't
funny.
That funny.
It's very funny. But yeah, next guy does the same thing. Kuchek jumps off the platform and he rips down like the branch he was being hung from. Because these boys are just so strong.
They're too
so
big.
goddamn strong.
Yeah.
And it turns out, they have the mark of the Ragnicks.
Mhm.
Don't know why they didn't check for that earlier.
Well, sure.
Don't know why they don't check Ismene for that mark. But
They just don't care. Like
They don't care.
Yeah. They
care.
want to kill, and that's all. That's what they're gonna do.
So immediately we go from enemies to lovers to friends
Yeah.
because, oh no, they are Ragniks after all. They are the little boys who got stolen
that's
away
them. That's
years
our
ago,
boys.
like 20 years ago, presumably, but nobody else is aged up but them.
Yeah. No one in the movie is aged up
No.
in any meaningful way. But I guess I don't know. They shot up. They're quick growers.
Yeah, they a lot of protein,
Yeah.
a lot of chicken and rice, and they got big and strong.
Yeah.
And they want to help save Canary, but they have no weapons. That's what they say. They say they have no weapons.
But as
do
they're like
have
pointing
weapons.
spears at them, we have no weapons.
Yeah, every single Ragnik is armed.
Yeah.
But they don't have weapons, I guess. So that's
Maybe
a plot
they mean
point
like
now.
I don't know, AK-47s or something.
Yeah, right. Trying to get some like atomics, some nuclear weapons. They're gonna go to this brothel called Bucket of Blood. It's a place that Ismani knows. She knows a place.
She knows a place
to get weapons.
Yeah.
And they go in there, and congratulations, we've marked another thing off the bingo.
Brothel.
It's a classic brothel.
That's fun, right?
Classic brothel. Classic arms dealer in there. A guy named Jacko.
Yeah. Jacko.
Yeah, Jacko.
Jacko was interesting.
Jacko's a funny guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, these brothers are poor. They can't buy weapons.
Sure.
So Jacko has got something else in mind. He's going to arm wrestle them for these weapons. And if they lose the arm wrestle, he gets like Ismani.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's really
we don't
cool
have to
and
worry
funny.
about that.
Yeah.
Though. Gore is just so strong. He's
and
gonna
like
win.
after that, she's like, "Oh, I'm no one's object. You can't just trade me." And the way she says it, you're supposed to expect it's like a joke or something. Like, oh,
Everyone's
she's being so
laughing.
uppity.
Yeah.
But I mean, no,
Laughing
that's a
at her.
fair concern.
Yeah, no, she's real
I don't
for
want to be
that.
sold
She
to
is real for
Jacko.
that.
Yeah.
And Jacko gets his comeuppance. A huge brawl starts once Gore wins the arm wrestling match, and they start tossing guys around the tavern. They're big, they're strong.
Yeah.
They do things in fight scenes where they just like break other people's weapons and armor with their like bare muscle. Because they're just so strong. They'll get like whammed over the head with a hammer, a 10-ton hammer.
Which is fine.
Bounces off him.
Yeah.
Because he's so muscular.
30 guys jump on them. They just like
Toss him off.
and
Yep.
toss them off.
Classic dog pile fail.
It's a good move.
Yeah, it's a tavern brawl. It's cool.
Yeah.
Some fine choreography here. And then we cut back to Barbarian Town. Talchet.
Yeah.
They're sneaking in. They've given up on the weapons plan. They're just going to go get Canary like they could have done all along.
I guess the movie just needed more padding.
I guess so. You know, they have to sneak into the town. And as a part of this, the brothers kiss to distract a guard.
That's funny.
See, it's played for laughs. But, you know, these are real brothers.
Yeah.
These are real brothers.
They
in real
are, in
life.
fact, kissing.
And they're kissing.
Why?
For like 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
It goes on.
It's, I don't know.
It's
not as funny as they think it is.
No.
But it's a little bit they do to sneak in. And, you know, there's a secret passage that leads into the concubine area of Kadar's lair.
Yeah, but hey, look out. You know, these concubines, they haven't been given attention in 10 years. And you know how concubines get.
This is another thing that, like, could be on the bingo.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
the protagonist has a funny bit in the harem.
Like, we do have palace harem on there, but, like, specifically the things that are happening in these harems.
Well, because it's always like, ooh, we love the hero.
Yeah, let's touch him. Stuff.
Let's touch him and stuff.
That's what they do.
Well, it's funny that this barbarian town, really seems like it's just the harem and, like, people sleeping on the ground outside.
Yeah, that's most of what happens in the town.
Because there aren't really, like, a lot of buildings.
No infrastructure.
Like small businesses.
Yeah.
You know?
There's people sleeping in hovels.
Yeah. There's, like, human piles outside the town gates. But they get in there and they get to Canary. Yeah, there's a funny bit where, like, Ismani is sneaking in, and one of the guards is, like, awake, and he sees her. He's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, just another working girl in Talchet. He's like, hell yeah, brother. Cheers to that. Just
like,
lets her through.
Looking pretty good for a working girl.
Yeah.
She's like, oh.
Yo, you.
Oh,
what a card.
Yeah.
So they all get in, and we get some more exposition from Canary in the harem about 5 million MacGuffins that will need to be secured.
It's actually insane.
It really is.
And it feels like it's a bit. Like, it feels like she's just saying all these things to them and they're just going to, like, forget it.
Because at this point, things are going to start happening quickly. Yeah. I've gone through 2/3 of my summary already. And not 2/3 of the runtime, but 2/3 of my summary.
Well, because, like, we get a lot of, like, front-loaded exposition on what is going to happen.
Yeah.
But then the things that happen are just so, like...
They're just so quick.
I don't know, yeah.
So quick. So they have to go to Lime Tree in the Forbidden Lands to get the ruby. But the ruby, you can't go to Lime Tree because Gravemaker the Dragon is there. And, well, to defeat Gravemaker the Dragon, you need the sacred weapons of the ancient tomb of the ancient king or whatever. Yeah, so you have to go to the tomb of the ancient king. This is Magic the Gathering lore,
right? I think you've gotten the wrong Google Doc.
I think so. Oh, sorry. Let me get back on track. So they have to go to the ancient tomb. In short, they first go to the ancient tomb. All these locations are together. All of the enemies and MacGuffins are in the same 50-foot radius. They're all in the same swamp. They're all in the same set.
Yeah. Which is weird.
Funny.
Why even tell me like the different things?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And so they're going to go on their merry way, right, to start this 5-part quest. But, someone overheard this whole conversation. It's the green lady.
Yeah, we didn't mention this before, but there's a green lady.
There's just a green lady in there.
There's a lady who's green. Yeah. And she looks like Ganondorf. Like she's green, she has red hair.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about that. Like
she does look like Ganondorf.
Yeah, she looks exactly like Ganondorf.
Well, in the first scene that she's shown in the beginning of the movie, she's very green, head to toe.
Yeah, but everyone else is in that scene.
The second scene where she shows up, when she's like reporting on Canary to Kadar and the Sorceress. Only her head is green. Like the rest of her body is normal just human color.
Lady. Yeah.
Really
funny. It comes and it goes.
Really funny. They did not commit to that bit very hard. No, there's some like blue people as well, some bluish people.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going for. I honestly don't know what the whole point of that was.
I don't think they knew either.
They're like other non-human groups.
Yeah.
Or these are humans? I don't know.
Yeah, they're people. They just, I don't know.
Yeah.
They look different.
And
that's fine.
That's okay.
Sorta Sorcery supports green and blue ladies.
That's right.
You know? When people will be like, look, I don't care if you're black, white, green,
purple. Yeah.
That's what they're talking
From
about.
Mars.
Yeah. That's what they're talking about.
But China the Sorceress is going to go after the boys now.
Yeah.
Because she knows where they are. Yeah. And once she goes, she, messes up Canary, I guess, for just being insolent.
Yeah, like she whips her a bit.
And when Kadar shows up and he sees this, he knows exactly what's up.
Yeah.
He's going to go after China, who's going after the boys, who are going after the ruby. So, we're all going to the fucking swamp.
Oh, it's crazy. This movie sounds really convoluted when you say it like that.
Yeah, when you put it like that, it makes not a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Then we cut back to the ancient tomb where the king's sacred weapons are.
Yeah.
Which we need to defeat the dragon. But there's also a freakazoid were-beast, were-rat, the thriller from the Thriller music video, the werewolf.
I think the description of it is like the bear thing.
The bear thing.
Yeah.
There's a freakazoid in the ancient tomb, and they're going to have to kill this guy first. So while they're battling the freakazoid, putting on the ancient weapons and armor and stuff, China just gets the ruby. Just shows up and gets the ruby.
Yeah, she snatches it. Because it's like in an eagle head.
Yeah, it's in an eagle head statue.
For some reason.
Like
very
so
Ator,
nearby to where they are. But she just cuts to the chase, gets the ruby.
But it's like, okay, so Greyshaft has the ruby.
Yeah, picture your Greyshaft. You're going to hide
Where
the
am
ruby.
I going to put this ruby? Oh, I know. Out in the open.
Yeah,
In a statue.
In a very obvious looking
in the eye of
statue.
a statue. Yeah. Strange.
Well, maybe you want to, I don't know.
I honestly don't.
I don't know. I can't get it in this guy's head.
It seems as though a canary knows where the ruby's going to be.
Yeah, she tells him exactly where it is. So maybe that was the plan. There's like a hideout for it.
Yeah.
So whenever they get the ruby, they always put it back in the same place.
And whenever you take the ruby out, the dragon appears?
I guess it awakens the dragon.
So how did they put the ruby in?
Well,
does that not wake up the dragon?
Well, let's just say we never see Greyshaft again in the movie.
So no,
maybe he sacrificed himself.
Oh my god, yeah. I guess because we had a theory that they just didn't like Greyshaft. So it's like, that's probably okay. Who am I going to send on the suicide mission?
Greyshaft.
All right.
And the etymology of his name cannot be good.
Yeah, he got shafted. Yeah,
he got shafted.
Shafted greatly.
And we cut back to the boys.
The boys.
They're decked out now in some like glittering golden armor.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
They've got a sword and an axe.
Yeah.
They're ready to do battle. And the freakazoid shows up. So they're in the pit of like this ancient tomb, right? Freakazoid shows up at the top of the entryway to the tomb.
And this is a movie that does not do a lot of like setup for things.
No.
We're getting multiple shots
Yeah.
beforehand of like him like lurking around.
Yeah, right. He's creeping.
They think he's gonna like sneak up on him. You know, like these barbarians, they fought like brawn and stuff. They're not ready for cunning.
Yeah,
you know?
for his wily ways.
His strategy. He
gets shot with an arrow, right? So you think, okay,
Sure.
he takes it like a champ.
Yeah.
He's good.
He comes down. He jumps down.
He
he's about to
immediately
take him.
jumps, right? As he's falling towards our protagonist.
Yeah, just
Instantly
Take
hack
him
his
out.
head off. Just whack.
yeah.
Instantly hack his head off. Beheaded immediately.
Done.
Beheaded within seconds of seeing him to behead him.
Easy.
And you're thinking, oh, like, because you wait for a moment. Because they hold this shot
It's
after
really
he's been
funny.
beheaded. They hold the shot. They hold the shot of like the body, the head, and the boys.
Uh-huh.
You think, oh, he's going to rise from the dead or something.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there's a shot of just like the boys like looking at each other. There's like
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah,
well,
that
that happened.
and then they like play around with the head for a bit.
Yeah, they fuck around with the head.
Yeah. Which apparently became a meme.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at the time. Yeah.
An 80s meme.
An 80s meme. An early meme.
An early meme. An old head meme.
Old head meme.
Yeah, so they kill that guy, and now they're going to have to go fight the dragon.
Yeah.
So we just cut immediately. They're there.
Yeah.
They're there. They're in Limgrave or
Well, they
wherever.
probably walked like 5 feet to the side, and now they're in the dragon
Yeah.
part of the swamp.
And the dragon, obviously the ruby's not there because China has it. And the dragon awakens, and he looks hideous. Hideous
Yeah,
dragon.
it looks pretty bad.
Think of the dragon from Die Nibelungen and worse.
Yeah. Both
Like
worse.
gangrened.
Yeah, he looks sickly, and also like the
Yeah.
budget went down
Uh-huh.
somehow.
Because you only see his neck, and he has this weird like turtle, like turkey thing going on. Where it looks like his neck is coming out of a shell.
Uh-huh.
It's really nasty and
Yeah,
terrible.
it's not good to look at.
But they have a plan to kill him because they don't want to fight him head on. So they're gonna hide in this hole,
Yeah.
and Ismainy's gonna lure the dragon over the hole, and they're just gonna like rip into it.
Yeah, but it's like the plan is just to go in the hole.
Yeah, that's right.
But I guess
That's right.
yeah, she kind of lures him over
Uh-huh.
a little bit. She's like, "Oh, come over here," and then she just immediately jumps in the hole. So it's like, why would the dragon then like go over the hole instead
Yeah.
of just like
Well, is she in
looking
the hole?
down? Yeah, she jumps into the hole.
Maybe it's connected to a tunnel of some sort.
Well, no, I guess she doesn't hop into the hole because like when the
when the ooze comes
yeah,
out.
when they stab the dragon.
Yeah, there's
then,
like a 60-second scene of them just hacking, and like there's like green organs and blood and
Yeah.
goo coming out.
It's not good, and they have their mouths open as
Yeah.
the stuff's coming down, so they're just
drinking it in.
they're drinking.
Well, then they hop inside the dragon,
yeah,
and that's where they see,
yeah.
China's been eaten.
China's in there.
China's been eaten. The ruby's also inside the dragon.
Yeah,
I guess she didn't have the sacred weapons, so she couldn't kill the dragon.
it's interesting that they even went inside of the dragon. Like, did they know the ruby was
Yeah,
gonna
right.
be in
Why
there?
did they go in there?
Why would they go in there?
I don't know. But they retrieved the ruby from the corpse of the dead dragon.
Yeah,
And things are looking up for them. And they still need to get Canary back, but they have the ruby. So at this point, there's a big reveal, which I guess is supposed to be a reveal. One of the barbarian twins, the dumb one, Gore,
yeah.
somehow recognizes Ismaini as Kara, who is another person we should know.
From like earlier in the movie, I guess.
I guess. She's like a lost Ragnik.
Yeah, and he just calls her that.
Because they knew her in childhood is the
Yeah,
thing you're supposed to like understand
But
from their interaction.
I guess he recognizes her now. But
Yeah,
she
she
didn't
doesn't recognize them at all.
Yeah.
And the other Ragniks didn't recognize her clearly because
Yeah.
they arrested her, tried to hang her.
But it's interesting that like she even wound up around them. Like,
yeah,
just
it is interesting.
by
isn't it?
chance. I don't know.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But, he trusts her because she's Kara. So he gives her the ruby and tells her to take it back to the Ragniks.
Uh-huh.
And the boys go off to get Canary. So from here, things just get weird and dumb.
Yeah.
We cut back to the Ragniks, and she's brought the ruby back to the Ragniks, right?
Well, yeah, after getting like tempted Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
style.
after getting like tempted, she looks at the ruby. Ooh, it's glittering.
Yeah.
You remember that she's supposed to have some personality trait where she likes gold or
Yeah.
greed or
But
something.
also maybe the ruby does that to everyone, but it seems like it doesn't because then like
Mhm.
people get it later and they're
They
just
do.
fine.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just her.
Yeah, well, she's resisting the temptation to pocket the ruby
Yeah.
and run away. Kadar has finally made it to the swamp,
Uh-huh.
and he's there with Canary. He's brought her along.
For some
They don't
reason.
find the ruby. They don't find the boys. They don't find shit. And Kadar's upset about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's upset.
See, it's the same thing he did earlier in the movie where he's like fucking around. He's like poking the sword.
Yeah.
Well,
because.
But yeah, he gets like a
Canary calls
hallucination.
out to Gore and Kuchek.
And they hear.
And they hear her. And they were going to go find him somewhere else. And then they turn back around. And they start riding back towards the swamp.
Yes.
But after she's called for help, I guess she thinks they won't come. Because something weird starts happening. Where her form
she waits
is like
five
ephemeral.
seconds to do this, by the way, which is crazy.
Yeah, she immediately goes for a plan B.
Yeah.
Which is to like trick Kadar into like stabbing at her.
Uh-huh.
So he's stabbing at her, but she's like flickering around.
Yeah.
So he keeps like tentatively stabbing in different directions.
But like, why is he stabbing at all?
I don't know. He
at
loves
the woman
her.
that he loves.
He loves her.
Yeah.
Or not.
I guess not.
Because he finally gets one.
Yeah.
Right in the chest. Kills her.
Yeah.
She dies. And immediately he's like, duh? Duh?
Yeah, he's like shocked.
What did I just do? She's like, it was my magic that made you do it. Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Weird magic.
Yeah.
Weird thing to do. The only significance of her dying is that the ruby turns to stone. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Ruby turns to stone.
Ruby turns to stone.
Well, for 10 seconds.
Yeah, right. Because
Yeah.
Ruby's turned to stone, and then we cut to the Ragniks, and they're freaking out.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that means Canary's dead. There's no queen. The power of the stone has been forever taken away from us. We can't sing anymore. I added that last part. 'Cause it's the only implication I can find for the stone being turned, or the ruby being turned into stone.
Yeah, because it seems like they weren't really using the magic part of it that everyone wants before.
Yeah. No, they weren't. They weren't. And they think they won't ever use the stone again until it just turns back into a ruby.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, like, doesn't Kara, like, or Ismene, like, step over it or something?
Yeah,
And
it's
then-
like on the ground or something. And they're like, oh, wait, the fact that it turns back into a ruby means that we have a candidate somewhere here for the new queen.
Bring the virgins!
Yeah, and it was the funniest line
It's good.
where, you know, Ibar, our favorite fucking character, goes, hurry, bring all the virgins.
Uh-huh.
Only two.
Yeah.
Only two. And they have a whole bit about how there are
What,
only
in the whole
two.
village? That's
yeah,
crazy.
in the whole,
Yeah, it's pretty
funny
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
Funny
pretty
stuff. So, I don't know. The stone, which has also been called the belly stone once in the movie,
Yeah.
we see now why it was just written into the script like that before.
So, yeah, this king,
Mm-hmm.
he trades the stone
Yeah.
for, like, a mountain of gold.
Yeah, a lot of gold.
Does he put the stone in his belly?
I guess, right?
I mean, that's the
I
only
guess.
implication. But then at some point, the society becomes like a matrilineal.
Yeah, it does.
Like,
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Power
Power passes through the queens, the line of queens.
So, like, what happened there?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
That's a good question. Well, yeah, and I bet that king wasn't a virgin.
Yeah,
Which is
right,
funny.
right.
So, you know, the two girls, we tried them out. It's like a Cinderella, if the shoe fits, you're the queen type thing with a belly stone.
One person's belly's too small, one person's belly's too big.
Yeah. Oh, no. So we think we're out of candidates because we're led to believe there are very
There's only
specific
two.
criteria for being the queen. And then Ibar's just like, you over there.
Yeah,
Ismene,
right.
we'll try her.
Yeah, get over here. And at this point, they don't know that she's
They
Kara.
don't know. They don't even know she's a Ragnik.
No, yeah.
So they bring her over, and she's like resistant. She's like, wait a minute, I'm not even a virgin.
Yeah.
And he goes, there's no time for subtleties.
Awesome.
Wasn't that the only
Awesome.
rule?
That was
Wasn't that
the
the
one
only
rule.
rule?
Yeah.
No time for subtleties?
Uh-huh.
It works. She's the queen.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's the new queen. And they immediately realize it's Kara.
Yeah.
You know,
I
the
don't know how that
scales fall
works.
from their eyes. And they realize she's been Kara all along.
Yeah.
She has the Ragnik mark. Of course she did.
Of course.
Maybe you start looking for that.
You should probably.
You know?
Seems like everyone who winds up near you in the forest is a
Yeah.
Ragnik. So maybe start checking.
Maybe start checking there.
Yeah.
Which is good because also their caravan was like trapped by vines that would regrow if you tried to cut the vines. So they couldn't leave. Because they're like an open road traveling people. And they've been like resigned to live in this forest because of the stone wasn't with them or whatever.
Yeah.
So now that's good for them. That plot line, we're done.
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 Finished.
Moving back to the boys. So they come back. Canary's dead.
Yeah.
We have to find Kadar.
Uh-huh.
They kill the rest of his goons, his like weird beetle squad.
Yeah, yeah. They do
He has
have
like
fun
funny
beetle
guys
helmets.
who like follow him around with the largest helmets you've ever seen.
Their helmets are cool. They're cool.
They are cool. But they die, and they run after Kadar. So they're in this like kind of like open, stony, dried up creek bed type
It's like
place.
a ravine.
It's like a ravine.
Yeah.
And Kadar comes riding towards them. They have this protracted fight scene. It's not even really like that much
Nothing
happens.
interesting really happens in the entire thing.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah, he's going back and forth. He cuts them. He gets dragged off his horse by one of them.
Yeah.
So then he's on the ground, and they're like probably 10 feet away from each other, right? And they're looking at him, and he's looking at them.
Yeah.
And it looks like he has no more weapons.
Uh-oh.
And, he reaches inside his cloak for something. What's it
move.
going to be?
Yeah.
Crossbow.
Just
has a gun, basically. It's like, what are you going to do about that?
He's got that thing on him.
He got that thing on him. And it looks like he's going to kill one of the brothers.
Yeah.
Because the implication is that one of them will die, and the other one will, like, charge him and kill him. But it doesn't matter because he can't shoot the thing.
Yeah, it misfires.
Because it just misfires.
Yeah.
And then they throw their swords at him.
Yeah.
They throw their swords.
Yeah.
And they impale him. And he dies.
He moves over. It's done.
And the movie's done.
Then, like, cut to...
Yeah, whatever. They meet up again, and now they're traveling together on the open road.
Yeah. And, they did a funny bit earlier where, like, when they were getting the weapons...
Yeah.
like, the dumb guy was like, oh...
I want
the axe. The other guy, Kuchek, he gets the axe. He's like, oh, I like the axe. Then dumb guy's
like, wait, I want the thing again.
Come on, give it back. And they do it again. They do
with
a
the
callback
reins
to it.
and like the switch for the carriage. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like really.
It's really funny. And then freeze frame.
Freeze frame.
The 80s really was a good time for the freeze frame.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
They were using that like crazy. And it's good. Yeah.
I suppose it's good.
And there it is. I hope you liked Big Boys.
I mean, hey, what amazing takeaways do we have from this movie? Big guys are fun.
Yeah, we like big guys.
Especially when there's two of them. That's twice
the fun.
Twice the fun, exactly.
Twice the fun. I mean, there's got to be something juicy for this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I guess just one fun thing is that, like, these guys they were in two other movies around this time that have just the most, like, the very first things you would think of for like a movie with these two, because like they were discovered in this movie.
Well, yeah, I mean they did so well.
If
I saw them in this movie, I'd hire them.
That they decided to make 1989's Think Big.
Oh, and they were big. Were they big?
Where they were big, and 1992's Double Trouble, where there's two of them.
There's two of them. Yeah.
So it's like it's
They're
just
double the trouble.
Double the trouble. Yeah.
No, I would like to see one of these other movies to see if they were acting as they thought a barbarian should, or if this really is like how they act.
Yeah.
Like maybe they were just hamming it up too much because their acting
they're
is like
they're
really
Juilliard trained.
Yeah, they're British.
Uh-huh.
Could you imagine every dumb
acting.
actor is British? Yeah, I don't know. They are kind of like the low light of the acting in this movie.
Yeah,
they do
tough.
a very bad job. I like seeing them on screen. That's nice
because they're fun to look at.
Yeah, because they're just some of the biggest boys you've ever seen.
Uh-huh.
But they act like some of the worst actors you've ever seen.
Some of the littlest boys you've ever seen.
Boys. Some of the Kevinist Sorbos.
Yeah.
You've ever seen.
Yeah, these are our Kevinist Sorbos because they are trying to be charismatic.
Yeah, right. They're trying to
stuff.
play characters with like personality.
Yeah.
And it's not
going well. Yeah, it is very Kevin Sorbo. Yeah.
It's going to be our new metric for assessing the acting in these films.
Yeah, I give them 9 Kevins out of Sorbo.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like other elements of this movie were way better than the Kevin Sorbo Tales of an Ancient Empire.
Yeah.
That we just watched last week. Because the setting was better. The cinematography was better.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks good. Like
the scenes that are in like the swamp area are bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bad set. It's not a good set.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I feel like there was a certain vision here. Was it executed well? Maybe not.
Well, I mean, Michael Wilmington of the Los Angeles Times would agree with you.
Oh.
He said that seldom has a movie looked so good and sounded so dumb.
Oh.
Which... Yeah, it's like referring to like how like amazingly shot so many things in the movie are.
Yeah.
But how like stupid the dialogue is.
Yeah, it's really bad. Yeah, I think this probably be like pretty maybe middle to upper middle in my ranking.
I would put it like dead middle, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
I just feel like maybe dead middle is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like think about like what were the highs of this movie compared to like the Three
Okay.
Swords moment and the Sword and the
That was
Sorcerer.
yeah.
like
Yeah,
I'd
that's
say the
true.
Sword and
There aren't
Sorcerer
any,
is
like,
high
extreme
middle.
high
Yeah.
moments.
Besides just like them being like big
Besides
fun
them,
guys.
yeah. Okay, I will say the best reveal because if you hadn't seen any of like the promotional stuff for this movie
Yeah.
and you didn't know the big boys were coming,
Oh, I mean, yeah.
the time skip into the big boys.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Because it's really funny because when you see all the other slaves, they're like horribly malnourished and
Uh-huh.
like dying. And then, so you're not ready for like the time skip when all the other slaves are still horribly malnourished and dying. And these are just like the most jacked fucking
Insane.
dudes.
Yeah.
Like beefcakes.
Power
you know what I mean?
builders.
More calories in these boys than in, a nation.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's incredible. Yeah, other than that, I do think, I mean, the opening of this movie always gets me because I'm a Mad Max head.
Yeah.
I love Mad Max.
Yeah.
I love, spikes and leather and the open road.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Well, that's just, your weekend life.
right?
Yeah.
That's just me.
Uh-huh.
It's just doing me doing me.
Your truck stop fantasies, your bikes and your
I feel like, yeah,
leather.
like that set an unattainable expectation for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Because that opening scene, like the action is choreographed well, the stunts are good, the music's kind of cool, mixing's a little rough, but, it looks good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It looks exciting and fun, and then things become less exciting and
meanders. It
fun.
meanders.
It does.
Yeah. But, apparently in Finland,
They loved this
they
movie?
love, like in the Finland, like B-movie circuits,
Wow.
they rated it as one of the best barbarian themed movies of all time.
Barbarian themed movies.
Yeah.
That's
Barbarian
so good.
themed sword and sorcery films.
Oh, that's just 5 subcategories.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah. I would agree.
But it's like, that is most sword and sorcery films.
Yeah, that's true.
Like barbarian themed.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's insane, kind of. But this is one of the best.
Yeah, I don't of all time.
Yeah. Even among the ones that we've just talked about on this podcast,
Mhm.
it is definitely.
And we
not.
talked about 10%
Yeah.
of
Oh,
the
yeah.
all time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
I don't
We're getting
know. I wonder because the Italians, they're not taking themselves as seriously as like an Albert Pune is.
Yeah.
They're just having fun with it.
Yeah, it's true.
And I think that shines through in some ways. But I wish it was more like rompy and fun at times.
Yeah. Yeah. Because at the point where we're just getting like mountains and mountains of exposition in the canary scene,
Yeah.
it feels like there's something that could be done to like make that a bit
Yeah.
funnier.
Yeah, I'm surprised that so many of these movies, they try to construct a plot
Yeah.
with like
Yeah.
a lot of moving parts.
Uh-huh.
And
Don't need
it
it.
just doesn't feel like it's ever once worked out.
Yeah.
Like the math
Yeah.
does not add up at the end of the movie.
Uh-huh.
You're always going to be left with questions.
Yeah,
They're
some
going
like
to
loose
distract
ends.
from the
Yeah.
acting.
Yeah.
Well, the acting distracts from the action,
Sure.
which is really the only thing you should be watching for in a movie like this.
Well, yeah, because like sword and sorcery, the things that the genre is being like marked out for are like the
Yeah.
action things, like that.
Yeah, it's true.
The exciting
That's true.
bits where like a guy with the sword fights a guy who's shooting magic at him.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what you want. And like you kind of get you don't really get that. In
Yeah,
this
you don't
movie.
get it as
Yeah.
much as you would want.
Yeah.
Well, it's an interesting like reduced notion of the sword and sorcery like genre
Uh-huh.
because originally it's always been like somewhat action oriented, right?
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna deny that. It's not like there's political intrigue all the time. Like sometimes there's politics,
Yeah.
but still it's usually resolved by action.
Uh-huh.
But
And
the
that's, like,
action,
the point,
yeah, it's
right?
like yeah,
Like,
right,
yeah.
exactly. It's doing something like narratively
Uh-huh.
or thematically that it's just not in like the later '80s movies.
Yeah.
You know, if
Yeah.
you're comparing like original Conan short stories
Uh-huh.
to this.
Yeah, and like I don't know, I guess this movie is a very just clear distillation of like the like amped nature
Yeah, it's
of the
very
genre
amped.
later. It's like, okay, we're gonna remake Conan. How are we gonna make it better? There's gonna be 2 Conans. and he's gonna be huge. He's gonna be the biggest Conan you've ever seen in your entire life.
The other Conan.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that really was. You could tell in the writers' room that was like the pitch for this movie.
yeah.
It's Conan, but there's 2 of them.
But then it's like, okay, but what made Conan like fun and good? We're
Yeah,
not
it
gonna do
wasn't.
much of that. Yeah.
It wasn't just that he was a big guy. That's part of it, but that's not the whole thing.
But the problem is that, like, these guys are so big, and there's two of them. So, like, none of the action scenes have any stakes or anything.
No, not
just
at all.
mowing through, like, crowds of dudes.
Yeah, because they are just portrayed as being invincible.
Yeah, no, actually.
Like their
yeah.
skin is like invulnerable to harm,
It's like a Fast and Furious movie.
which is a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
I think.
The acting is also similar. They
Uh-huh.
sound like two Vin Diesels.
Yeah, they do. Vin Diesel's acting off himself, and it goes about as well as you
That's
would
Vin
expect.
Diesel's dream. Just every
Can you
character in
imagine?
those movies could be him.
Hey, 800,000 at the box office.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I don't know if that's good or not. I
Doesn't
actually have no
sound
idea.
good.
Yeah.
I don't know if this movie made all its money back,
Yeah.
but it's an Italian film. So how expensive could it have been?
It's true.
Oh, the budget was 2.5 million. Okay.
Wow. Oh
So
my God. What?
they did not,
Oh,
at
man.
least at box office, did not make their money back,
Whoa.
which is tough. Which is really
Yeah,
tough.
that's pretty crazy. I mean, that is like a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of money. But you got to pay the stars, You got
Yeah.
to pay the stars. There were some expensive effects and stuff. There was a fire breather at the beginning. I don't know.
Yeah, it feels like they did spend a lot of their money on the opening bit.
Yeah, well, that's how they draw you in.
And they just used a
How they
bunch
draw you in.
of sets over and over again by the end.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, the one set they decided to use the most, which is like the bog swamp set,
Yeah.
is really bad.
Yeah, and like worse than other swamps in this genre.
We've seen a lot of swamps by now.
Yeah.
I think the Magic Sword swamp was pretty good.
Good. Yeah.
It was a decent swamp. It had some of the typical swamp pitfalls of like oozing
Literally
piles.
pitfalls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what you want. You don't want it to just be a staging ground for other action. You want the
No.
swamp to do something.
Yeah, the swamp should be a character in your narrative.
And in this movie, it's, acts almost as much as the actors,
It's true. That is true.
to say.
Because
what
they
you
all
can.
stink.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
oh, yeah.
Putrid.
Uh-huh.
Putrid.
Uh-huh.
I had fun, though. This was a good
Yeah,
one.
it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's in the middle. Like, it's dead middle for me. But that just means that, like, I like most of these films. Even the
Yeah.
bad ones I like.
Even the bad ones. There are some movies that I would be remiss to watch again.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, the last one.
Yeah, that one, like, Tales of an Ancient Empire.
That took something from me that I honestly have not gotten
Because
back.
Conan was a softer version of that, where, like, I wouldn't
Yeah.
want really to, like, it's not my first choice to watch again
No,
by
and
far.
I wouldn't, like, show it to someone if I was trying to show someone, like,
Yeah.
an example of a bad movie in this genre.
Yeah.
Because it's just, like, not fun, really.
No, it's not fun.
Yeah.
Tales of an Ancient Empire was one where, based on the way it looked, like just the way the screen looked, I wanted to shut my eyes. I wanted to go
Yeah,
away.
it felt
and
wrong.
stop watching the movie
Yeah.
because it was offensive to the eyes,
Uh-huh.
which is
It
all I'll
almost
say.
seemed intentional, like,
Yeah, it did.
with the color grading.
Well, because there's some blue scenes in this movie.
Yeah, but they're
The
well shot.
Barbarians,
Like, genuinely,
but they're
well shot.
much better shot.
Yeah.
Much better shot. Hey, and next week we're gonna have another movie that potentially is well shot.
Hey,
You
could
know, it's
be.
all in the eye of the beholder,
There's
and the
shots
hand
in
of the
it.
cameraman,
It's true. It's true.
and it's gonna be
The Sorceress.
gonna
Or,
be-
wait, Sorceress?
yeah. What is it? The Sorceress or is it
Is
Sorceress?
it just Sorceress? Google noises.
Typing away.
Not the meaning of Sorceress. Sorceress. Yeah, it's just Sorceress.
Okay.
Wait, this is an insane poster cover. For one thing, there's only one of them. Is this the right movie?
I feel like it is. It's just one of those things where they don't.
Wait, that's crazy. Yeah, it's like it's one blonde lady and an ape.
Yeah,
I guess,
I'm looking at it right.
fighting a chimera
Yeah,
or like a
yeah.
manticore.
That's a much better film than the one we got out of this movie.
Yeah, there's a bunch of posters for the Sorceress, and none of them are actually Sorceress, besides one.
That's awesome. That's really funny.
Interesting. Apparently, it was originally the warrior and the Sorceress, but they just made it
They cut the warrior.
Sorceress. Yeah. So we
The
we'll be looking at
Sorceress
Sorceress
is the movie we'll be watching,
We'll be watching Sorceress.
and
yeah.
it's gonna be good. Have a good time. Watch it wherever you watch everything, which is Amazon Prime Video.
And listen to people talking about it wherever you listen to people talking about it, which is
right here
Sorta
on
Sorcery.
X platform. Sorta Sorcery.
Insert platform here. Sorta Sorcery. We're working
Brought
on
to
the
you by
sponsorship deal. Yeah.
Whoever you want.
Whoever will have us.
Oh yeah, and we'll have anyone. And we'll have you next week.
Bye.
Bye.